What's up, B Squad? It's me, JB, and I am here today, you guys, with a brand new show. This is going to be Bold and Bougie, you guys, on WeTV, which is a Carlos King production. This is going to be season 1, episode 1, and this episode is titled Let Me Reintroduce Myself, you guys. Now, before we go ahead and get into this review, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel, you guys aren't subscribed yet, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and also by turning on your post notifications, you guys. With that out of the way, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this episode of Bold and Bougie, you guys. Shall we? All right, you guys. So Bold and Bougie, you guys, like I said, it's a Carlos King production. When I saw the cast, I was like, okay, I might be interested in it, and saw the trailer. I was like, okay, cool. Now, what I will say is, you guys, so when it comes to reality TV, this and whenever Love and Hip Hop Houston airs, these are going to be the last reality shows that I add to my channel. I don't feel like going for it. I'm going to add any more reality TV. I know somebody suggested Prison Wives. I will check that out. I'm not making any promises, but we'll see. But I know definitively right now, Bold and Bougie as well as Love and Hip Hop Houston, those are going to be the last two things that I add to the channel. So everything else will be scripted and whatever reality shows I currently still have that I review. Now, this episode, it was a decent it was a good episode. I will say that. It was good to see Malaysia again. Now, what I will say to everybody, because I know a lot of you guys who watched the last few seasons of Basketball Wives, I know a lot of you guys didn't necessarily see it for Malaysia. So you guys have to remember, with Basketball Wives LA, I wasn't faithful to LA as much as I was to Miami. Miami, I watched from season 1 up until season 4. Season 5, I was in and out of it. I think that was the season when that woman Tasha Marbury came on. I didn't watch that whole entire season, so I can't tell you everything that happened on that season. Only thing I can remember was the season finale when what was that woman's name? Kenya? It was Kenya and Susie when they fought, right? And they didn't show it. It just went to black, and that was the end of the season. And they didn't even have a reunion that season. Or did they have a reunion that season? I do not remember. I promise you guys, I don't even remember if they had a reunion. That is so interesting. I don't remember they had a reunion. But if they did, they did. If they didn't, they didn't. But LA, I was never 100% faithful to LA. I did watch faithfully season 1, 2, and 3, and 4. But 5, I left 5. I came back for 6. And then after 6, I left. I watched a few episodes of season 7, and I dropped off immediately. And then season 8 and 9, I didn't watch them. And you guys know I reviewed season 10, and I dreaded it, hated it, wish I hadn't done it. I really wish I hadn't done it. But where we at? What am I talking about? Malaysia. So yeah, I don't have the way that you guys feel, some of you guys feel about Malaysia, I can't say I felt that way about Malaysia. So I want to put that out there. Now, this episode, we open up and we meet Go Shay. Now, if you guys don't recognize Go Shay, she was on Real Housewives of Atlanta. What season was that when she was on Real Housewives of Atlanta? Was it season 7 of Atlanta? With Demetria McKinney and Claudia, when Demetria and Claudia were on there, right? And remember, she told Demetria, I dated Roger Bob too. That's her, right? So Go Shay, she's into the food industry now. So she has a breakfast spot, a food truck, and just a regular brunch, I think a brunch spot. I can't remember what she said, but it's a bar. So she's going to be unveiling this new line that she has for pancakes and grits. Now, I'm not a grits person, but I love me some pancakes, right? So she's telling there's gonna be a theme party because she's saying, Atlanta loves a good theme party. So we see her as she went down to the studio, and Crystal Renee was there. And if you guys aren't familiar with who Crystal is the ex-wife of none other than Neo. My God, that narcissist. Because you guys remember during the pandemic, Crystal and Neo had filed for divorce, but with the pandemic, they decided to stay together. But then just recently, a year or two ago, she went on ahead and went through with that divorce because he was having another baby with another woman. Now, I could be wrong, but when she said it in the interview, I was like, okay, I thought I wasn't tripping. There were rumors out about Chris. I was like, didn't you get with Neo and he was already with Monietta? But it is what it is. So Crystal, she's in the studio and she's rapping. So she has his stage name and it is VVS. I was like VVS Stone. Okay, cool. With Gaucher, they were talking about Crystal dating. I think Crystal has a guy that she's dating, and so Gaucher asked her, have you ever dated a woman? And she's like, they bleeped it out, but I believe she said she can't eat pussy. I believe that's what Crystal said, because Gaucher has a wife. I was like, whoa, Gaucher, you don't flip to the lady pond. I don't remember that she was. I don't remember that she said. Well, she wasn't really that main of a character on Real Housewives of Atlanta, because I think Gaucher was just like a friend of a friend of a friend. I don't remember that season. I mean, I remember that season, but I don't. I just remember her saying, I dated Roger Bob too. That is the only thing that I can remember from Gaucher when she was on Real Housewives of Atlanta. So the next person we meet, her name is Princess, you guys. So she and her husband, they own a dental practice. She is also behind the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And when they mentioned the cast and they mentioned her and being behind Real Housewives of Atlanta, I was like, wow, I never knew that. So we see her as she is going in for a surgery, and she had Tamika join her, right? And so Princess is telling us that she interviewed Tamika for Housewives. I was like, thank God she didn't make it. Like, I am not at all, and when I say I am not a fan of Tamika. I watched Atlanta Exes, and when she was on Atlanta Exes, oh my God, she was a no for me. Did Atlanta Exes even get a second season? I think they only got one season, and that was it. I could be wrong. But yeah, she interviewed her for Housewives. I was like, oh, okay. So Princess is getting, so she's let us know that she had her, she went to go get her breasts reduced, and when she woke up, she didn't have any breasts, right? And so I'm assuming she has breast implants, and I'm assuming she doesn't have, areolas, the areola, the nipple. I'm assuming she doesn't have that because that's what she was in there for. And Tamika, this is why I don't like Tamika, right? Because like I said, I watched Atlanta Exes and nothing has changed about this woman. She is still rude because she rudely asked Princess, why are we here? I was like, well, excuse you too, bitch. So then when they started doing her nipples, she told Princess, that's just vanity. I was like, oh my God. It might be vanity to you, but it's not vanity to her. It's something that makes her feel good about herself. It's something like you can't, like my God, when Tamika said that, I was like, girl, you are still insensitive. Mm, mm, mm. But I remember how you was on Atlanta Exes when they talked about your son, which is wrong. But yeah, Tamika, go to hell. Let's pause here and move forward, you guys. All right, you guys. So next up, we see Gaucher. So Gaucher is meeting Malaysia, right? And Malaysia is out ziplining. Speaking of Malaysia, you guys, did you guys check out her interview on Carlos King's podcast? Surprisingly, you guys, I actually watched it. I didn't finish it, but I watched a good chunk of it. I think I got down to like the last 10 minutes and I was like, okay, I'm tired. Because I think the video is like an hour and 26 minutes, give or take. But it was nice to just listen to Malaysia talk. She talked about the fight that she had with Laura. She discussed her relationship with Brandy, and also in this episode, she discussed, Basketball Wives, and she told why she left Basketball Wives on Carlos King's podcast. You guys can go check it out. Also, yeah, she mostly spoke about Basketball Wives. She did talk about Gennaro and and other things. But yeah, so like I said, here she's zip lining, and so Gaucher asked her because Gaucher knew her because Gaucher did her hair when she was on Basketball Wives. So Gaucher asked her like, what happened on Basketball Wives, and she basically repeated the same thing that she said to Carlos, that she felt like the girls kind of beat up on her on Basketball Wives, and I will agree with her, right? Because you guys remember, like I said, I reviewed her last season, and I just did not like how the girls were coming at her, especially Brandy, and it was really Brandy, but then you had the criminal, aka British, who was chiming in too, and I was just like, y'all are inserting yourselves in something that absolutely has nothing to do with you. Let Brandy and Malaysia figure out what their relationship is, and that was what I did not like about that last season of Basketball Wives, and I didn't blame her. So Gaucher invited, Malaysia to her event. So Malaysia was like, well, who all is coming? And she said, Tamika's coming, Princess is coming, and Malaysia, I don't think she really knows Princess, and Crystal's coming, right? And you guys know all those Atlanta all those Atlanta women, they pretty much run in the same circle. They all are good friends with each other. They all know each other, right? So Malaysia is, she says that Monyetta is one of her best friends. And I was happy about the fact that she was like, even though she doesn't know Crystal, and yes, Monyetta is one of her good friends, her best friend, she doesn't have any, preconceived notions about, Crystal. And I was like, that's good. Like, I get it. It's one thing to have your friends back, but that's just a situation that has nothing to do with you. Oh my God, are you serious? All right, you guys. So next up, let's move back over to Tamika. So Tamika has Malaysia over to her home, right? So Tamika is getting a new place, and the house looked nice, but Tamika had a lot of complaints, and I was like, well, if you're paying for it, then you want what you want the house to look how you want it to look, and I'm fine with that. So she had Malaysia come over because I guess Malaysia is into interior decorating, I guess all that kind of stuff. And so they did talk about the party that Gaucher is going to be having, right? And once again, the conversation comes about who was all coming. And Malaysia let Tamika know that, Princess is coming, Crystal's coming. And once again, you know, Tamika is friends with Monyetta, and they've been friends. I know that because, again, they were on Atlanta Exes with each other. So they're friends with each other. And listening to Tamika talk is a complete difference between what Malaysia was saying, because I feel like Malaysia is willing to give Crystal a chance, whereas Tamika is like, well, girl, that's my friend, and you was with my friend's man at one point in time, so I don't really see it for you. And I'm just like, but that, again, that has nothing to do with you. That would be like me, like if somebody, that would be like my best friend, right? Any of her exes in the past, they've gotten with other girls. That would be like me saying, oh, she come around people, but I don't really rock with you because you with him. And it's not even giving a woman a chance because you don't know her. You don't know her story. So I don't agree with that. But hey, it is what it is. But Malaysia is trying to get Tamika on that wavelength. I was like, good luck with that one, Malaysia. Good luck with that one. Now, next up, we see Crystal. So Crystal is meeting up with Shad, and I recognize Shad. I've known about Shad for some years now, because Shad works with he I know at one point he worked with Tammy Rivera. He was real good for. I don't know if they're still friends or not, but I know at one point back, when Tammy first started on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Um, did I say Love and Hip Hop Atlanta? If I didn't say Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, I meant Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. But when she was on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, they were like Ace Boom Coons, right? So he is best friends with Crystal, and Crystal has a restaurant down in Atlanta, and so she's telling him about, the party that Gauche is throwing, and the fact that, Malaysia's coming, Princess is coming, and what's her name? Tamika's coming, right? And she's saying that she doesn't know the women, more specifically Malaysia. She doesn't know Tamika, but she's hoping that they will give her, a chance. And I was like, I mean, they should. They should. But, stranger things happen, right? Stranger things have happened. Now, we'll pause here and we're going to go ahead and move forward, you guys, and wrap up the episode. All right, you guys. So we see as all the ladies show up. So Gauche is having this party at her home. And, I know if this show, continues for seasons and seasons, I'm pretty sure they'll get bigger budgets and they'll be able to film in different places in Atlanta, because it took a long time before, Married to Medicine and even Real Housewives of Atlanta, before they started having, big name people at their events, right? So we'll give them some time. So everybody got there. Now, mind you, I forgot to tell you guys. So again, this is a theme party. Gauche wants it to be Black Aspen. I was like, Black Aspen? Why not just say Aspen? Because I know why it's Black Aspen, but just say Aspen. So they were supposed to dress up in bikinis and furs. And I was like, what is the weather like in Atlanta? Because if it's during the summer, it's hot as fuck. And I wouldn't be walking around with no damn fur on in the fucking summer. Because that's what they were talking about. I think that's what they said at one point, that it was hot. I was like, y'all got to be filming in the fucking summer. Ain't no motherfucking way, right? So Malaysia got there and she, talked to, another thing about Tamika. Tamika talking about, I'm not wearing no bathing. Girls, stop complaining. But then what you did end up wearing, I was like, what the hell is it Tamika got on? Neither here nor there, right? Neither here nor there. But Malaysia, she went and had a conversation with, what's her name again? Crystal. And basically when she talked to Crystal, she was just letting Crystal know, like, hey, yes, I'm friends with Monyetta. Whatever has happened between you, Monyetta, and Neo, that has nothing to do with me, right? She's just saying that I want to get to know you for you. And you can listen to Crystal's voice, that Crystal was kind of getting a little aggravated and a little agitated. And that was what Malaysia was like, I don't want you to feel like that. And she said, we're good. As long as you don't say anything negative, as long as you don't say anything negative about my friend, we're good. And she also caught the fact that you ain't even saying her name. So she said, we're good. So at that point, what's her name? Princess was there, right? And Malaysia asked her, why wasn't she wearing a swimsuit or whatever? And she was like, I just want to kind of wait until Tamika gets here. Speaking of which, she also told, Princess had already talked to her husband and told her husband, how she felt when Tamika came to the doctor with, the surgeon with her. And she's right to feel how she felt, because Tamika was being rude and dismissive as fuck. So she's right to feel how she felt about Tamika. So when Tamika got there, again, I don't know what Tamika had on, but then Princess went ahead and told Malaysia, like, hey, this is the reason why I don't have this on. And everybody was, oh, that's, they understood. And Tamika's like, we don't have to have that conversation here. I was like, girl, shut up. I can already see it right here, right now, that Tamika is going to be it for me. Like, I'm not gonna see it for Tamika. I'm not gonna see it for Tamika. And then she spoke to everyone with the exception of Crystal, right? So she went back over to speak to Crystal, and she's like, "I'm Manyetta's friend." I was like, I think she knows whose friend you are. Like, you can't introduce yourself like, "Hi, I'm Tamika. Tamika Crystal. Nice to meet you," and leave it at that. Like, it's like you gotta exert that. Yeah, I'm friends with Manyetta, so bitch, I got my eye on you. Like, that's kind of the vibe it was giving. And again, like I said, I ain't really feeling it for Miss Tamika. Speaking of which, with Tamika, Malaysia says she dropped the particle, right? And I'm cool with that. Tamika, ma'am, you have been divorced from Usher for years, and you still go by Tamika Foster Raymond. Maybe it's for your kids. I don't know, but girl, I mean, if it opens though, you know what? Let me stop. It opens doors for her, because outside of that name, that last name, who would be checking for Tamika? Even though she did say she worked with the Fugees back in the day, who would be checking for Tamika? Just being honest with you guys. But that's the first episode of Bold and Bougie. Now, also I will say, so this you guys are going to get this video right after, sometime after the episode goes off, because I've already watched the first episode. It is on demand. If you guys didn't know, it's, well, hell, by the time you guys see this, it'll be done aired on Thursday night. But hey, be sure to like the video, you guys, subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, and share the video, you guys. And until the next time, stay safe out there, you guys. Take care of yourselves, wash your hands, be blessed, and I will see you guys in the next one. So, this is Thursday. Technically, I'm recording this on Wednesday, but it'll be Thursday when you guys see this. So, I will see you guys later for what do we have on Thursday? I will see you guys for the traders, and I'll also see you guys on Friday. So I do have a live schedule Friday at 2 p.m. Central Time for Love is Blind, and I also will see you guys for Hot Topics, you guys. And I think that's it. And then I'll see you guys Friday for Ready to Love, and I think Saturday afternoon, I think we'll go live to discuss this week's episode of Ready to Love. But I will catch you guys in all those videos and lives. Bye, guys. Have a great one.